Everyone wants success, but few are willing to embrace the slow, unseen effort that builds it. Tonight, under the glow of the moon, a crow discovered a truth that could change the way you look at your own struggles forever. High above the trees, on a quiet morning, lived a crow named Kavi. Unlike other crows in his flock, Kavi was ambitious. He always wanted to be the fastest, the smartest, and the most admired. To him, success meant standing above everyone else. One day, the flock faced a problem. Their water source had dried up during the heat of summer. The river was low, the ponds were empty, and the ground was cracked. The flock grew restless, but then a rumor spread. A clay pot filled with water stood in a nearby farmer's field. Whoever could reach it would save the flock. The strong crows looked at one another, confident that this task would belong to them. Kavi, too, puffed out his chest. When they reached the pot, their excitement turned to disappointment. The pot was tall, and the little water that remained sat far at the bottom, well beyond the reach of a crow's beak. The strongest crows tried first, thrusting their heads inside, stretching their necks, flapping their wings, and even trying to push the pot over. Nothing worked. One by one, the crows grew tired and gave up. But Kavi stayed behind, staring at the pot. His heart raced. If I solve this, they'll see I'm the greatest, he thought. But every attempt he made failed. His wings scratched the clay, his beak clanged uselessly, and frustration boiled inside him. Hours passed, and Kavi sat exhausted. Then he noticed something small, a pebble rolling under his foot. An old memory returned, of his grandmother telling him a story. When problems seem too big, break them into smaller steps. Patience and effort will carry you further than pride ever will. Kavi's eyes lit up. He picked up the pebble and dropped it into the pot. The water rose slightly. He dropped another, then another. With every pebble, the water climbed higher. At first, it seemed like nothing was happening. The other crows laughed from the trees. "Pointless," they cawed. "You'll never finish." But Kavi ignored them. He wasn't focused on being the fastest anymore. He wasn't chasing their applause. He was simply focused on the work, on each pebble, one after another. Hours later, the water finally reached the rim. Kavi drank deeply, his thirst quenched. Then he called the others. Surprised, they flew down, drinking eagerly. For a moment, Kavi expected cheers and praise. But instead, the flock moved on quickly, relieved and distracted. No one celebrated him as a hero. No one declared him the smartest. Kavi felt a sting of disappointment. He had imagined glory, but instead, there was silence. Yet, as he looked into the pot, rippling with the reflection of the sky, he realized something profound. The real reward wasn't their applause, it was the effort itself. The patience, the persistence, the quiet determination that transformed an impossible challenge into a solution. From that day forward, Kavi stopped chasing recognition. When food was scarce, he searched diligently, pebble by pebble. When storms blew through, he rebuilt his nest tirelessly, twig by twig. The flock still sometimes overlooked him, but Kavi no longer cared, because deep down, he knew the truth. Success isn't measured only by outcomes, It's built in the effort we put forth each day. The water in the pot had quenched more than his thirst. It had awakened his understanding. In life, many of us are like Kavi. We want the applause, the recognition, the results that shine. But too often, we forget that true strength lies in the process, in showing up, in giving effort, in working quietly when no one is watching. Not every effort will bring instant results. Sometimes, just like the crow dropping pebbles, progress feels slow, invisible, or even mocked by others. But if you stay consistent, if you keep focusing on the work instead of chasing quick rewards, the results will eventually come, and they will last. Remember this: outcomes can fade, applause can vanish, but the discipline and resilience you build in the process stay with you forever. So the next time you face a tall pot in your life, a challenge that feels impossible, don't measure success only by how quickly you solve it. Focus on the pebbles. Focus on the effort. Because step by step, effort by effort, you are building a version of yourself that no one can take away.